Good? Okay, great. You're good to go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can everyone stand up for me, please? Okay, we are going to do a major scale with solfege. Starting on this note, and we're going to do it staccato. And then we're going to go up. The next one's going to be legato, and then staccato again. So just back and forth. 1, 2, ready, and
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
one more.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
Good job, guys. All right, so now we're going to change it up a little bit. We're just going to go up to so, and we're going to go do, 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 re, 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 mi, 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 fa, 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 sol, 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 do. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do it. Starting on this note. I'll sing it with you. It'll be fine. Don't look so worried. So 1 and snap when we get to the second. The do 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 do. Snap on that first beat. So, do on solfege. 1, 2, ready, and do 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 do. Re 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 re. Mi 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 mi. Fa 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 fa. Sol 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 do. Okay, do that one again. These rhythms. So it's do 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 do. Re 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 re. Mi 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 mi. Fa 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 fa. Sol 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 do. Okay, so let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, and do 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 do. Re 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 re. Mi 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 mi. Fa 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 fa. Sol 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 do. Good job, guys. All right, let's do that one more time here, and then we will get moving on. 1, 2, ready, and do 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 do. Re 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 re. Mi 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 mi. Fa 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 fa. Sol 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 do. All right. So does everyone have True Light? If you have it, can you take it out for me? If not, you can share with a neighbor.
You need to keep standing.
No, you can sit down. Thanks, guys. And when you have it, take it out and turn to measure 29. Can anyone tell me something that looks familiar about this section of the piece? Alex.
It's the same rhythm as what we just did.
Yeah, so that rhythm that we just did is the same as what is that measure 29 through 33. So that is going to be the altos on the rhythm, and at this section, everyone kind of layers in at different parts. So we're gonna do some fun layering. But everyone, let's first start. Does anyone else notice anything like specific about this section that looks kind of familiar?
The staccato mark.
it does. We did staccato, so we want to make sure when we do that we have our separation between the notes. And there's one more thing, something about the melody. Does anyone see it? Okay, so look at the first two measures at 29. What are the lyrics? Yeah. Do we all know this little light of mine? Can we sing that right now? Just the spiritual, this little light of mine. Starting on here. 1, 2, ready, and
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
okay, so that is the premise of this song. It's built from that melody of This Little Light of Mine. So let's get started into this section. It's a little bit different than what we just sang. Can I have everybody sing the alto line here? So it's going to be this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true light. Okay, can I have everyone sing that now? 1, 2, ready, go.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true light.
Alright, good job. We're just gonna loop that a couple times just so we can get those rhythms. So here we go. Oops. Play one note at a time. 2, 1, 2, ready, and
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true light.
again. Ready, and
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true
alright, good
light.
job. Now can I have just my alto friends sing that part by yourselves? Here we go.
This little light of mine,
Sing it out.
I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true light.
Alright, do it again. Ready?
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true light.
Alright, again, and here's the timer part. Ready? Wait. 1, 2, ready, and sorry, I can't play the piano at the same time. Okay, let's try this again. Altos, just keep looping your part there. Can everyone that's not a tenor sing with the altos, so to give them a little bit of support there? Alright, here we go. And tenors, try and add your part in. It's gonna go, hold on to the true light, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true light. So that's your part. Sorry, I can't sing in your octave.
Do you want us to, are we singing it with you this next time?
Yes, sing it with me. So we're gonna have the altos go once, and then we'll bring the tenors in, and then we're just gonna loop that a couple times until we feel comfortable. So altos and everyone that's not a tenor. 2, 1, 2, ready.
This little light of
Not yet, tenors.
mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know God gave the world true
And now your
light.
tenor. Ready. And
This little light, hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine.
our soprano friends join in, and yours is True light, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. So you just stay on that beat for a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna have altos, then altos tenors, and then alto tenor soprano. 5 minutes? Okay. And then basses you can sing with the tenors. Help them out a little bit. Alright, so starting with the altos. 1, 2, ready, and this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light.
Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light.
Alright, so let's quickly add in our bass friends so that we can have our full section here. So the bass part is sorry, wrong octave. God's peace. I'm gonna let it shine. Sorry. Alright, so let's start with the altos and then add in the bass part there when they come in. Alright, back to measure 29. 1, 2, ready.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true
Alright
light.
guys, it's sounding good. So let's run it one more time and then I think that's all that we will have time for today. So let's do it one more time at 29 and really sing out your parts. This is like, you're letting the world know that I picture this part as like some person knows something secret and they're telling other people, and when more people are joining in, it's getting louder and louder and more excited because more people know. So just kind of like bring the excitement to this part. Cool, okay. So, altos. 1, 2.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light. Hold on to the true light. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know. God gave the world true light.
Alright, thank you everybody.
Okay, cool. Good job. Give her a hand.
some things I know that you were stepping outside of your comfort zone for, so I think that's really kind of cool to see. I love that you didn't have a stand in front of you. That was really awesome. Take a look here. Do you see these things? What things did you see more than others? What did you? Yeah, let's keep going. Oh yeah, you need this part. This is probably more important than actual teaching. What part did you see more than others? Yes.
Determined.
How so?
She didn't get flustered if she made a mistake, and she kept trying, and she made it work.
Yeah, she didn't get flustered when you sang. She's like, okay, I'm gonna work with that. Okay. Determined. Anything else you saw?
Ambitious. This is kind of difficult.
Yeah, and you went. I think you went to the right place. I really do. I mean, the other place would be to do the melody. This little light of mine. The beginning is a real great entry point too, but this is that's a good entry point. Did you notice that? How did you feel about the piece? We're all here to grow. You don't have to be. You can be honest. Yes.
Like she was saying, it's kind of proud. Like you're proud. I mean, the people were proud that. I don't know how to explain it, but like,
That's what she said about the piece. Is that what you felt about the piece?
we weren't really giving that,
Yeah, you weren't.
but she was trying to get us to give that. But we
Was
just
she?
weren't. I think so.
Okay, well, these are the questions I'm going to ask, and so these are some of the things. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go through my laundry list here because I'm going to try to keep this on the time frame. You did this better throughout the lesson, but first thing you said was, "Can everybody please stand up?" No. Everybody please stand up. Do not ask.
Okay,
You don't want somebody to say no. I'm going to give you this, by the way, so you'll be fine. You telegraphed a lot. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, when you can just do it. Okay, so instead of going, okay, we're going to sing a major scale, and then we're going to do, first we're going to do it, it's just like, I mean, you were conducting it so well.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to talk about it. Because when you talk, people check out. Not when you talk, when anybody talks. You know what I mean? When people talk, you check out. Your conducting of that was great. The staccato versus legato, I think it would have been even more enriched if you had made them gestures as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you had had an analogy. Because what wasn't happening is you weren't allowing them to make it meaningful. Okay? It was just a silly exercise that you told them to do. Making it meaningful would have been to have them do something that's like touch a hot stove and all the staccato notes. Ow, 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 ow. Now put on lotion. Ah. Okay? And then all of a sudden it's fun and you smile and they let their guard down. And I guarantee you if they let their guard down, you're going to get more alto sound than that. Does that make sense? It's about creating the environment. It's about creating the environment that allows them to feel comfortable. Okay? And part of that requires you to feel comfortable, okay, which you're doing a good job of. Speaking of good job, try to avoid praise that's really generic.
Yeah, okay.
Good job, guys. I mean, okay, that's like saying that you did nice. It's like going to a 2-hour Beethoven symphony and then afterwards walking up to the conductor and said, "Nice job." And then walking away. It's like, we spent weeks preparing this, and the best you got is, nice job. Good job, guys. I mean, if it was a good job, and was it? Did they do what you wanted them to do? Could you be more specific?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be like, those staccatos and legatos are really, really separate. Keep that in mind. We're going to use them later. Which then, when you go fishing for the answer to a question that you had, then they'll have a little bit more. You got really lucky there that Alexa saved your butt. Your warm-up was way too rhythmically complicated to be remembered. That's why you got all the panic. That's why everybody was like, okay, so how could you now? That's not to say you couldn't have done it, but you would have needed to support it. Yes?
Would have been like a good idea, maybe like write it on the board.
You could have written it on the board, or you could have attached text to it.
Okay.
Like you could have done the text.
Yeah.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let. By the way, you did those 16th note rest, 16th rest rhythms wrong every time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let. They snap right after that. Yeah, you're doing them like as 8th notes. I'm gonna let it shine. They're much more. Powerful. There must be lively. Thank you. Did someone say lively? Work on the transition from your score. Like you were like the warm up to the score was very separate.
Okay.
It was like warm up, score, and there can be a more organic kind of movement into it. So like, you know, while you're taking it out, everybody walk. You know, have them kind of dovetail an activity in. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where it's not just like separated too. So if you wanted to do like even at the beginning of the hour, take out True Light and set it on your stand, or set it on your you know, and turn to page 5 and set it on your table, and now stand. So that way there is no like transitional time between when you're going to go from the warm up, because what happens in transition time? Talking, downtime. When people get bored or when people don't have something to do, that's when they get off task. Make sense? That's not a big deal. Okay, this is more to the core of the piece. Like, do you sell a piece of music by tediously going through each part? Is that how you would buy into a piece of music? Would you?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
What if do you think that, how do I put this? Do you think that middle schoolers or high schoolers are going to walk away wanting more? Do you think that they're invested now? Do you think they're like, yeah, yes?
Maybe not so much.
Okay, I don't. My experience says I don't think so. I think that this is the risk of intro lessons. I think this would be great. This is what I call classic woodshedding. What woodshedding is where you are digging into the parts and making it better. This is a great make it better. Do you know what I mean? That's the easy way to go. Okay? But what's going to really make them want to get it better on a day-by-day basis? Does that make sense? Okay? So the fact that you're up here and I loved that you were so rolling with the punches that were coming at you. You know, you were kind of like everything, like it wasn't going exactly like you wanted it to, but the pacing was really good too. I think like you got done exactly what you were supposed to get done.
Yeah.
Okay. But what can you do? And this is where this comes in, and this is where this is coming in, right? This is where this is coming, and that's where this is coming in, because you want to be great, and you have to figure out how to be great, and let yourself go. Oh, sweetheart. No, I know you are. I know you are. This is where, you know what, to be honest, this is where this part of you can be more, this part needs to override this part. Do you know what I mean? Like this is the part that held you back, and this is the part that needs to come to the surface, if that makes sense. So when you were modeling it, you modeled the right pitches and rhythms and text. It was exactly right. But you told the altos in the way you sang it that it's okay to go, this little light of mine, I'm gonna, because you weren't 100% comfortable with yourself. Do you know what it's supposed to sound like in your ear? Yeah. Do you know what a person, of course you do. We all know what gospel music is supposed to sound like, right? Of course we do. Now, are we capable of doing that at like a professional? No. But are we capable of kind of embodying the Spirit? Absolutely. It's just a choice to disregard this. That's why this is my favorite hashtag. Hashtag no shy. You have to, so it's like, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine everywhere I go. It doesn't matter if your voice is crap, if you sell it. You understand? Yeah. And all of a sudden then they're like, and here's where I wrote this down. It's gonna be 10 times more powerful for you to do that for them than if I were to do that for them, because I am not shy. Because if you overcome this for them, they're going to know. Kids will smell it. Seriously, won't you think? Like, you know Julia, you know how she's all these things. You know how like determined and ambitious she is. You know how like how wrapped up and like feeling she is. You know that if she were to get up here and go, this little light of, it would be like, holy cow. That would have been like mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what the piece is asking. That's what you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, that's where that you might be able to create, and think of, oh my God, think about the text of this piece. Think about this piece in general. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It'd be like me going up to somebody and saying, I love you, I want to marry you. I mean, really? Seriously? Yeah, no thanks. I think I'll pass, right? So, how are you going to sell a piece of music if you're saying, this little light of mine? Now, and then when they do that, and when they give that back to you, that's got to be unacceptable if that's the core of the piece. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, this little light of mine. So you would have been better off to sell the piece by having everybody do the alto in the correct style, because the style and the color and the timbre and the energy of the piece is more important than getting every single part right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then when they do, you can be like, now wait, what happens when you start to layer in these other parts doing the same thing with the same energy, but in different notes and rhythms? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you've got it. You've got it. That's where you go, are you determined enough to conquer that? Are you ambitious enough to conquer that? Are you considerate enough to the music and your musicians that you want them to have that experience? Does that make sense? It was great. It really was. And what? Oh my God, to go first? Are you kidding me? Poor thing. You did well, okay? You did well. Give her another hand. Give her another hand. All right, who's next?